Hello and welcome to 2016. This is the first video of the year for Anxiety United. We are officially 2 years old. This week we've reached 20,000 Twitter followers. We're almost at 300 subscribers here on YouTube and we're over 3,000 likes on Facebook. Now that is some support. Thank you. Here we go. I think you can only start the first video of the year quickly talking about the January blues, and well, that's what people call it anyway. Whether it's any worse at this time of year than it is at any other time, maybe it's just because we give it that title, the January blues. It's almost like we accept that we're gonna feel shit at this time of year because it's called the January blues. There's no such thing as the September blues, or you know what I mean? So we sort of get it into our heads. The first few weeks, perhaps the whole month of January, is going to be crap because we've spent all our money, we've had all the fun that we're allowed, especially, you know, over Christmas, New Year. It's done. We're back to work, we're back to school, we're back to, I don't know, homemaking or whatever it is that we do. We're back in the real world. We're living the life that we were living before the wonderful Christmas that we've just had. Whether it was a good one or not, it's still called the January blues. Perhaps we should refrain from using that and just call it as it is. We're a little bit down. We've gone back to work, or we're doing whatever we're doing. Shit happens. We will get through this. We will get through this period. It's never easy. Whatever the reasoning may be, you may have fallen out with people over Christmas. You may have ran up the credit card bills and you're not sure how you're going to pay your rent or your mortgage this month. But we get through it. And I've got through it for the last 36 years. I am now 36, by the way. It was my birthday in December. But I didn't tell anybody. But yeah, it's the January blues. But we're not calling it that. We are now calling it off the cuff. Let me think. We're just calling it the normal. It's January. It's just January. So just briefly, the website, anxietyunited.co.uk. That relaunched. It's the new website. People may have visited it. People may have not. If you used to be registered, then you need to re-register. It's all free. Just re-register. Go to anxietyunited.co.uk. If you re-register, you get access to the Get Social area. You may be familiar with it from the previous site. Now it's been updated, everything's been updated, so you can share videos, photos, you've still got your messaging, you can add friends, you can use hashtags, you can mention people, you can do whatever you need to do. It's very similar to Facebook, but it's more private. If you want to have a social media account that you can keep private and talk about mental health, or feel free to, you know, talk about whatever you need to. It doesn't have to be mental health related. It's a social network for people that perhaps would like to keep things a bit more private, their mental health, so they don't feel like they're judged. But that doesn't mean everything has to be mental health related that you say on there. Also, I'm in the process of adding the forum. The reason that the forum's not on there at the moment is because the member numbers are so low. I didn't want the forum to be deserted. Tumbleweed rolling across the road. I wanted the forum to be busy again. Now I know we're even short of 100 members, I think, whereas before we had almost 3,000 members on there. So the forum was active, it was busy. There was always somebody there to answer any questions that you might have or offer advice. So that's where I'm sort of in the balance at the moment. When I put the forum on, it's going to be quiet for a while until we can get the member numbers up. So if you know somebody that suffers, or if you do yourself, register, because you will have access to the forum once it goes on. The blogging area of the site, at the moment you have to submit a blog and it comes through and then it's reviewed and then it's posted under your name. That's the way that it's going to work at the moment. So the only blogs that are on there, 99% are mine. There was one provided by somebody else. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. I think it might have been Nikki. I can't remember. But yes, that's where we're at the moment. We've got all the old podcasts to back up on there. And obviously the panic buttons there, and any of the resources, or most of the resources, but I'm in the process of adding stuff. I didn't want to just throw it all back on there. Well, I've got time restraints as well because I do work, so, I'm trying to do my best to get stuff back on the site. There's a lot of new worksheets that I'd like to put together. At the moment, I'm finding it difficult to get a balance of the time, especially with it being January, but it is just January. Something that I suggested on Twitter a few days ago was for people to give me subjects to talk about in these videos. So one of the things that stuck with me was New Year resolutions and how they can sometimes be positive, but often they can put unnecessary pressure on yourself to deliver at this time of year. People suggesting like quitting smoking or cutting down on the booze, or getting out more, socialising more, whatever it is, drop a dress size. These things that we put, not the dress size, I don't. Just in case you're wondering. Not that there's anything wrong with people that choose to do that. Just to clarify. New Year's resolutions. I haven't made any this year. I made some last year, and if you go back and watch the very first anxiety diary that I made, I think it was on New Year's Day last year, I made a bunch of resolutions, like 5 things I wanted to do this side and 5 things I don't fucking know, but there was 10 things and I didn't do any of them last year. And I can still remember a few of them, like going out for dinner with my wife, or going to London, going to Alton Towers, stuff like that. Unrealistic, I think, is what I think of now, because last year was a bitch for me, and I didn't manage to get any of those things done. So this year I've not done any resolutions. I am just going to play it one day at a time, no pressure to improve, because I just think that it will happen if I just carry on, build up the momentum, build up the confidence. Yesterday was a bad day for me. It was the worst day that I've had of 2016, but we're only 12 days in. But I had anxiety for the first time properly yesterday. My daughter's in Panto. I had to take her and sit outside for like 40 minutes. It was only a rehearsal thing. So I was sitting in the car and I felt edgy. I felt that build up, the momentum, whatever it is, where I just felt energy, tension. I needed to just blow up, scream, shout, whatever it was, I don't know. I got home last night, had a bit of a dizzy while I was sitting playing on PS4. It just topped it off, and then when I went to bed about 11:30 last night, I couldn't get to sleep. When I did, I woke during the night, freaking out. Not panic attack, but just often when I'm stressed or when I'm in a heightened state of anxiety when I go to bed, I wake during the night and see shit. So I'll wake up and think, I don't know, the curtains or something completely different, black fucking weird shit going on. I don't know whether that's because I've gone to bed in a heightened state of anxiety. I don't know. Excuse that beep. It's an email. That's the other thing, like work pressure, having that break through Christmas, going back to work. The first couple of weeks are gonna be stressful. So that's what I've kind of put yesterday down to, is I'm back to work. I've not been sitting at the computer all day long, every day, working. Now I'm sort of trying to gradually ease myself back in, working on the website, Anxiety United, trying to keep up with Twitter, trying to do work, trying to get out of the house. There's a whole lot of things that I'm trying to juggle, so it's stress, and I'm back in after a few weeks break, so it's gonna be a bit difficult. New Year's resolutions, which was the subject of this little segment here, I don't think they're a great idea. I try now to not make them and just keep it. It's not a New Year resolution, it's a year. It's a 2016 plan, a plan of action, and I intend to slowly ease myself back into making progress. moving forward, getting out, even when I don't feel like it, you know, getting up, getting into a regular sleep pattern, because that's the other thing that I've noticed. During the Christmas break, I've been going to bed later, and I've been getting out of bed a lot later. So like 10, half 10, 11 o'clock some days I've been getting out of bed, feeling more tired than I would previously when I'm going to bed at like, I don't know, 11 o'clock say, and I'm getting up at 8. That was how it was before Christmas. Then I'm starting to go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning during the Christmas break, getting up later, and I don't feel as good. That's something else that I need to work on. It's something that perhaps other people are struggling with as well, is getting back into that routine, getting up, having breakfast, having a lunch, having dinner, relaxing of an evening, and going to bed, and doing all the bits that you need to do in between those, but try and get that pattern set back in as early as possible. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but you know that you will get back into the routine, and that's the key, is getting back into routine every day. Do something that scares you. That's pretty much it, man. I'm going to cut this video and I'm going to leave it there, but what I will say before I go is that I would like to do this regularly. Post a question. Fucking phone keeps going off. Post a question on Twitter. So I will ask on Twitter, has anybody got anything they would like me to discuss in the video? And I'll pick one of whatever, and I'll research it, and I'll post a video on it. My findings, real life, not professional, no textbooks involved here. This is either my experience or other people's experience. That's where we're going to go with these videos, I think. Let's up the subscriber count if we can. I'd love to get more interactive on here. Comments, post them. Send me a video that I can watch. It's all good. Ta-ra for now.